Good morning, Drive. So today I wanted to talk about the conversation of prosperity. So, what is prosperity? Prosperity is the means of having everything that you want, the means of having money, the means of having wealth, the means of having peace, the means of having to be prosperous, whatever means to be prosperous to you. For one, I don't even want to discuss what it means to be prosperous. There's what it means to be prosperous to you, maybe what it means to be prosperous to me is completely different things. But I'm going to tell you how to get it. So, a lot of people always hear the believe it and you can receive it. The conversation of if you ask for it, you shall receive. The conversation of if you believe it hard enough, if it is yours. And the newest one I heard, which I'm in love with, is wealth is our birthright. So I've been saying that over and over and over in my head lately. If wealth is your birthright. And I was like, what does that mean? I don't understand. What does that mean? As someone who grew up poor, or not so much as poor. I didn't really grow up poor. I became poor. Don't get me wrong. I became poor. I grew up very lower middle class. My mom worked her butt off to make sure I had anything I could possibly need. So I became poor. So now, as someone who is no longer super poor, I'm questioning myself of what does it mean that wealth is my birthright? Because a lot of things that I have gotten was luck. I'm lucky to have my husband. I'm lucky to be able to have the mind frame I have because I didn't work for that. I didn't work for my intelligence. I didn't work for my gift to be able to encourage people. I didn't work for my gift of motivation. I didn't work for that. I worked for ways to tell people that. I worked for ways to get that out. But my goal was to never I have to work just to make money. I have to work because I believe in myself so much. I believe that I can encourage people so much that I want them to hear me. So, and when you pay to get heard, when somebody cares about themselves so much to where they seek you out, your message sits a little bit harder. It stays for longer. They do the work to get there. And I don't want to just to be talking. I want to be talking to people who want to do the work. So, what does it mean when you say, wealth is my birthright? All of us have been told, I know I have, that you got to work for it. Oh, faith without works is dead. Da, da, da. If wealth is your birthright, it means that no matter what, if you believe you deserve to be wealthy, then it is so. The problem with that is people believe they deserve to be wealthy and they're not willing to behave wealthily. They're not willing to behave like they're wealthy. They're not willing to realize that they're wealthy within their own sense already, so they can be grateful for where they are. Because there's always going to be someone that has it worse. There's always going to be someone that has it worse. Regardless if they feel like their worse is worse than yours, if you feel like they're worse than you, there's always going to be somebody who is feeling worse, who is feeling lower, who is on the verge of a breakdown. Regardless if you're on the verge of a breakdown, there's always going to be someone out there that's worse. But, so you have to be grateful of where you are, but you don't have to accept what you are. Wealth is your birthright, meaning that if you were born wealthy, would someone tell you you had to earn it? If you were born wealthy already, if you were born rich, if Oprah had a kid, would someone tell Oprah that she needs to make her child go through the struggle she went through to gain her wealth? Wealth is your birthright. Ugh. That's so deep to me. Wealth is something that you should have had, that you could have had, that you were already capable of having. You don't have to earn wealth. There's people out here that are born into wealth. Just because you wasn't doesn't mean that you are less deserving of it. Just because your parents couldn't give you the world doesn't mean that you're less deserving of it. It just means you have to believe that you're worth it now. And the problem is we get instilled in us for so long, we get instilled in us that you have to work for this. You don't deserve this. oh, well, if you don't work for it, then you can't have it. No, you have to believe you're worth it. That doesn't mean sit on the couch. Because the same way that you believe you're worth it, you also have to show that you're worth it. I'm not telling you to go work 80 hours because to me that makes no sense. But I'm telling you the universe will give you everything that you want, everything that you could possibly need. The universe will give you everything that you deserve when you deserve it. So you can't sit there and be like, I want to be rich so I can become a mass murderer. I'm being dramatic, I know. I want to be rich so I can be selfish. You also have to treat your neighbor how you want to be treated. So when you walk down the street and you see that homeless person, it doesn't mean you have to give them your last dime. You have to be empathetic for it. You have to be grateful for your situation. You have to want better for them. It doesn't mean that they have to want better for themselves. What other people are thinking is not your responsibility. The way to wealth is, the way through wealth is works, but it's not meaning you have to work 80 hours a week at a job. It's not meaning you have to grind so continuously that you're doing nothing but getting money. It means that you have to work your mind. It means you have to work your heart. It means you have to work your energy. It means you have to continuously learn, and you have to treat people like you would want to be treated. If you want to be wealthy, you have to treat other people like they want to be wealthy too. And you have to give them the respect of a wealthy person. If you want to be respected, you have to give them respect. That's a whole nother story, and we can get into it one day. But today, you need to understand that you could have been born in wealth, and you don't have to deserve it. You have to believe that it is yours. You have to believe that it is yours. All you have to do is believe that it is yours and behave as such. Behave like you have that $1 million sitting in the bank. Be kind. Be generous. You can't have stuff being mean. You can't have stuff being evil. Behave as such. Give back. Behave as such. You are worthy of it. Wealth is your birthright. That's so powerful to me. I can't remember if Lisa or Susie said it. It was either Lisa Nichols or Susie Carder, but wealth is your birthright. How great is that? How great is that? The fact that I don't have to spend the rest of my life working, and I know it. Now, if you don't believe it, it's not going to happen. I can't make you believe anything. I can teach you why I believe it. I can tell you why I believe it. I can tell you what got me to this path. I can help you get there. But if you don't believe it, I can't make you believe it. So, this is Jay Lachey, and we're actually in the hot box. For those of you who follow me on my podcast, Motivating the Elevated, this is the hot box. It's not nothing special, but I call it the hot box. And wealth is your birthright. I'm not for everybody. I am for some people, and I'm most definitely for me. And that's all that matters. I'm out.